just like a bag of money. Every time she called me, she said, "Can you have some money?" I said, "Can I get a threesome?" She said, "Boy, you funny. Well, you don't see me laughing, come flip that twat down on them honey." What's up, everybody? It is Sky Autumn here. How are you all doing tonight, third shift? We have Cash Doll, Zadarius, and Tracy T in the office. There are clips going around posted by Live Bite of Cash Doll and her new boyfriend, Zadarius Smith, in Ghana.
I should've cheated, I should've lied, I should've cheated, maybe I should.
What's going on, people? What's going on? It's Pilgrims in the Earth back at you again. First and foremost, all praises be to the Most High. Second off, thank you. Thank you for people who support the channel. I know there's not many, so if it's 1, 2, 3, I appreciate y'all. If I look upset right now, it's because I kind of am. I'm not angry. I'm just frustrated. Uh, I'm disappointed more so. Um, I'm disappointed with our culture, man. And I know a lot of this stuff is a part of an agenda. And when I say our culture and agenda, I'm speaking of the whole social programming of men versus women, specifically black men versus black women. You know, the agenda is so strong, man. It's so strong. I'm just looking at um, the algorithm of the social programming that's going on, and it's like they done turned the knob all the way up. You know how you turn the knob and it's steaming hot? That's what the algorithm, the agenda on our people is in America specifically, because they understand entertainment has a grip on our culture. Not only does entertainment have a grip on our culture, entertainment has a strong grip on our women, man. Um, I want to speak to the men first, right? Men, fathers, you know, of course, all of us is not husbands, realistically. Most of us is not husbands, but fathers, black men, control your emotions, man. Control your emotions, bro. Your emotions, it don't matter if you're right or wrong. When your emotions are not intact, they will use that against you. Who is they? The system, man. The system. I watched a video of a young man, getting into an altercation. It was the aftermath of him getting into an altercation with his child's mother. And the police was coming to apprehend him. And, he was posing a threat because obviously he's frustrated, that if his baby mama was using the system against him or not, but basically he felt like they were trying to take him from seeing his daughter. And, his frustration was that, they always choose the woman's side versus the man's side, which is true. I've been in that system, but one thing you have to maintain is your posture. Maintain your composure. You know, our anger is what gets us in a lot of trouble, man. You have to understand by default you're already looked at as the aggressor. By default. So when you ball your fists up, the things you say, what you say can be used against you in a court of law. Control yourself. Discipline your tongue, man. Discipline your attitude, your mood. You know, I know a lot of people talk about therapy. Man, therapy can be anything. You ain't got to go sit under somebody who got a PhD, and you can go sit with somebody who men of wisdom, elderly man. That's what I do. Or I exercise or go walking. But man, we have to control ourselves, man. As men, women, women. A lot of times, I'm gonna speak to the women right closely, right? The system has been created to destroy you, to get to your children. The only way they can get to you was to move the man out the way. How do they move the man out the way? They use you. They use your emotions. The man, I just made a post about this, right? The man, your husband, is the biggest resource you can ever have. The Most High have created you to be a helpmeet for him. There's no you without him. Of course, you can operate in this world. You can have some level of success, but sis, that's coming to an end. All those jobs y'all done went to all these, did all these degrees for, or all these years in school for, those jobs are coming to a halt. It was all for nothing. They used you to get the man out the way, and then they're finally going to get you out the way, and they're going to get to your children. Your biggest resource is your husband, your baby father, your ex, the person that you have children with or a child with. He's the protection. They've convinced you through social programming to move the protector, the provider, the discipliner, the judge of your household out the way. You know, and some women might say, well, he wasn't doing all that. He wasn't. Okay. Now, where can we start to say, what can we do best for the child, right? What can we do best for the child? The child needs their father. They need their mother. They really need a family structure, a man and a woman in the household. Okay, but if you're in a situation where you don't have that, you have to do some type of co-parenting. I made plenty videos on this. But back to the topic, right? The social programming is so much at a high level. I'm talking about every algorithm. You got these celebrities. I'm gonna tell you like this, what I believe, in my opinion. These people get paid to act like they're together. I'm gonna say that again. These people get paid by record labels to act like they're together. I'm gonna tell you why. Why it's not far fetched, right? You had people who never was drug dealers, but paid to promote this lifestyle of being a drug dealer. To do what? To reel in black men, to reel in black children's mindset, to make them uh, go and try to live their life, to go on the streets and crash out or try to be this great drug dealer. Why do you think they was putting out the Scarface movies? Why do you think they was paying Young Jeezy, T.I., all this trap music stuff, right? It's all an agenda. It's all an agenda. What do you think they paying the Glorillas for? What do you think they paying the Megan Thee Stallions for? Your children will be the sacrifice, man. I'm telling you. They're trying to separate the parents so they can get right to what? The children. That's their main target, is the children. The children. So you have this Cardi B, right? And whether you pro Cardi B, you pro what's the guy name? Offset. It doesn't matter. But see, they'll throw these situations out there. Now, women, they're not only looking at it or choosing a side, they're actually embodying the spirit of Cardi B and Offset breaking up. So who you gonna see all through these comments? Who you gonna see so emotionally invested in these situations? Black women, black women. And then the black men, they're gonna trigger their emotions out of black men, and it's gonna create this right here, a nonstop this right here. Meanwhile, they're planning to shut the economy down. Meanwhile, they're planning to take your jobs away from you. Meaning, in the meanwhile, they're planning to pull the American life from right up under you like a rug. So when y'all both fall, what was it all for anyway? Look at DDG and the Holly Bailey chick. What are people doing? Oh man, DDG, he right because he did. Oh, or the chicks. Oh, Holly Bailey, he should have been doing. She. Who cares, man? Who cares? Because these people get paid. They get paid. I seen the post that the dude DDG made. He said I made $12 million in a month of, I think it was March or May. You know why? Because that's when all this tension started brewing up. What is it? What does it generate? Attention. They're paying people for negative attention. So you don't think that they might cause certain situations that may look to us as drama or tea. You know what I'm saying? People breaking up, they love it. Don't nobody. I'm gonna tell you, man. I could put this video out right now. I might get, without me sharing it, I might get at least about 10 views. But if I put out a video, matter of fact, I did this years ago. I said, man, these people don't watch nothing. They're attracted. They're like demons. They're attracted to. I gotta get drama. Where the tea? Where the tea? What did he say? What did he comment about her? Are they still together? Did they break up? Did she leave him for another thing? I'm telling you, I told my wife. I said, watch this. I say, my wife cheated on me. Wow, that's crazy. And I put that as the title. Do you know that video went up like 500 views within an hour or two? Because people are like, man, they like negative vampires. Yeah, I can smell it. I think they're about to break. I'm telling you, black culture is so dysfunctional, man. I don't know where we went wrong. And I know it's an agenda, but it's something that's in us that just loves the drama, man. I'm talking about I done seen people that wanted me and my wife broken up so bad, man. I literally to save my family, I had to move from America. I just had to because you're not gonna get no support from the village. And when I say support, I'm not talking about financial. It could just be advice. Advice. As you know, or as I told y'all before, if it's your first time there, let me bring you up to speed. I have an older son. He's 12 years old. I have my wife. I have four children with my wife, but I have my first son is 12 years old. I fought tooth and nail to be in his life. Up until me leaving America, I had to put my hands up for my own sanity. But I fought tooth and nail, man, and I did nothing wrong but try to be a father. Now, am I blaming her? No, because she has some mental issues going on. You know, we should have never brought a child into this world considering both our circumstances. Me not having the wisdom or understand or experience to be a father, her not even supposed to be, you know, she been messed up all around. So we have dysfunctional situations all around of people coming together, and it's all bad. So the only way I seen fit when me and my wife had my son Karan, right? He's about to be 9 years old. When we had him, I said the only way I can raise a family and be able to control my household, I have to separate my family from the dysfunctional black culture of America. Not only America is toxic in itself, but they have socially programmed our culture in America as black people to the point there's no turning back. You cannot save black culture in America. You cannot save it. It's done. It's done. Only thing you can do is remove yourself. The Most High didn't. I'm telling you, the Most High say, "Come out of her." You know, it's deeper, man. It's so demonic. When I say demonic, I'm not talking about, you know, cutting off chicken heads and doing all this crazy. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about demonic, as in the spirit, the vibration is so negative. Negative. I had to get my family up out of there, man. And I seen it coming back and forth. It's the people are so angry. Their spirit is like it's people that want to see blood, man. When you got two people that's getting into an altercation and people pulling out their phones, what do you think they want to see? They want blood. So when you have a man and a woman that decides to come together in a union, married or not, What do people like to see? Drama. I've worked in these places, man. I've worked in these workplaces in America, these factories, name it, fast food, Amazon. I was more into the automotive industry. Do you know how many people that wanted to create situations between me and my wife? Because me and my wife worked in the same workplace multiple times. Because that's what we do. We're a team. When we need to make some money, we're gonna go here for a few while, for a few months or a year, and we're gonna make our money and get our bag and get on. Or if I don't need her to work, hey, you go home, stay with the children. I'm gonna make this money. But do you know how many people that wanted to break us up just because it seemed to them that wow, they, to the women in their mind, they can be. This is how they look at it. Or my baby father, he ain't. They work between me and him. Or I can't find a good man. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cause a distraction in their relationship or their marriage, and I'm gonna prove that all these niggas ain't because of jealousy. It can be because of envy. It can be because of their own shortcomings in life. Men, you have men that will try to sleep with your woman, man, just because it seems too. It just that man. I'm telling you, our culture is over, man. It's over. It's just waiting on judgment. It's just waiting on judgment. It's like the Most High just sitting back wait for us to get out the way. It's like a time, like you don't know the time. It's gonna come so swift. The judgment, man. That's why I adamantly warn our people consistently: get out of the way. This ain't the time to be buying houses. This ain't the time to be buying a new car. This ain't the time to be, you know, building in a burning house. It's over. But like I was saying, the algorithm. Look at Tyler Perry's new movie. The whole algorithm is aimed at our women who they already know who are emotionally damaged. A lot of these women, a lot of us didn't have a father in our lives. So for good reason, a lot of them are just they don't women naturally have to have a man in their life as a hedge of protection. You know how important a father is to a young girl? He will show her, even though I've never had a daughter, it ain't hard to tell how important a father is to a young girl because I've seen throughout my life the these young women or women still seeking that father in their boyfriend or their baby daddy. So they're constantly in the street looking for that hedge of protection that they never got from their father. That if they did get from their father, they would know exactly how to choose a husband. Even better yet, they're not even supposed to be choosing a husband. The father is. But it's a cycle of, and that's why I get so it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because they got us tearing at each other, man. You got the the sisters putting out restraining orders against their baby fathers, not allowing him to come around a child. So the frustration builds in these brothers. So now they got to get physical. I'm gonna tell you straight up. When I had my child, right, me, the situation with me and my child's baby mama, it got so dysfunctional. She was a very violent person. So I had to separate myself, or I was gonna go to jail. And by the time my child was born, I think he was about 1 month. It was already another man in the picture. She was destroyed mentally. It took a lot of mental strength to get through that situation. To the point where I even gained a relationship with her, because they end up having children, her and the boyfriend. They have a child to this day, and I had to go through him because of the there was no talking to her or getting to her because it was just a level of disrespectful. So I would talk to him about, how my son was doing and all that. Um, but women, you have to understand when you bring another man around your children, a son, a daughter, sometimes you bring in an enemy into your own household. It's not natural for a man to have to go through another man about his own seed. It's not natural. If you want to be technical, that's an act of war. So you're allowing another man to come into your home. So what it is the system of America gives the woman uh, authoritative parenthood over that child. They don't say it on paper, but they do. So you as a man, you got to go through the courts to get the same rights that she already has. And and lo and behold, to even get rights over her, you have to find her negligent. And even in those situations, I done seen so many situations, and I try to use my example not as of a point of, oh, I'm still hurt. It's the point of an example because I've seen it firsthand. I've seen my baby mama, I'm talking about negligent on every aspect. No food in the house, not good water, running water, dirty, everything. And will tell the courts, hey, he's not active. I don't know where he is. He's never been around. And I pop up because I don't know what's going on. I'm just receiving the letters from another state. I got to go there, drive there. They don't want to hear nothing you talking about as a man. But the frustration is like, they don't want to hear me. That's how we react. Anger, anger. But I had to keep my composure. I had to keep my composure, man. And unfortunately, it's a lose-lose situation unless you're gonna come out, unless you got the resources. Even if you had the resources, and a lot of times it don't work. But it's a messed up cycle, man, and it's destroying our people. It's destroying us, and not only is it destroying us, what it's going to eventually destroy altogether is the children. When you take that man, you got this man fighting a system to get to his child. Wow. But man, once again, keep your composure. Build yourself. Put pleasure. When you chasing pleasure, you're distracted from your purpose. Discipline yourself, and I guarantee you the Most High will make things come to your favor eventually. It might take some time. Disappear for a minute. Put in extra hours at the job for a minute. Start reading more. You know what I'm saying? Separate yourself from low vibrational people. But if you want to build a family, she gonna have to be in direct. You gonna have to, man. If you want to build a family in America, you got to get out the way. I'm telling you, it's like, man, my wife is, my wife. I love my wife. She has her shortcomings just like I do, but my wife is just the sweetest person. I can say that. After knowing her for 10 plus years, the sweetest person. But I've seen how the social programming works, even to her. Then it had us like this. And I'm not perfect either. We both had the. They got this whole notion or fantasy to these women, right? It has to be perfect. If he not doing this, then you can go find another. That's the whole thing. What is the whole notion with Cardi B and DDG, baby mama, and all this? If he ain't doing this, another man out there will. Or what? What's the other chick? The other chick, Cash Doll. Look at the algorithm, man. Cash Doll. Oh, so now in women's mind, a lot of them are still children. A lot of us are still children. So we don't perceive that, hey, this woman broke up with her man and now she has a football player. These women looking at it like, you know what? I can do the same thing. In fact, I will do the same thing. In fact, let me let him go, and another man is going to swing in. He gonna bust in through my living room window and pick me and my child up and rescue us. And then not only that, it's gonna make me get back at my baby daddy that either done me wrong or I'm just tired of. And the narrative is not always that they're trying to get back at their baby daddy that done them wrong. These demographic of women nowadays, a lot of them just had babies. They don't even, they just using the children as assets, as benefits. And now that they're cutting these benefits off, guess what's happening? You find the children in a diaper walking in the middle of the street. They just leaving them. And you're gonna see that so much. You're gonna see more prostitution. They're gonna be selling and advertising it online, and you're gonna see these children being found somewhere in an apartment with no food, no clothes. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. And the government, guess what the government? The government not gonna say he ain't gonna hit the hammer and say, custody to the man. No, it don't work like that. It don't work. Do you know I had a whole home, I had a whole vehicle, I had a whole vehicle, a home, a job, everything. Didn't have a crazy record to the point where Michigan CPS wrote a letter of recommendation. Is it CPS? But no, they wrote a letter of recommendation to Ohio saying, "Hey, I think he should get his son because he's the best fit parent." Do you think Ohio read that and said, "Hey, okay, let's give him"? No, they put my son in temporary custody of her brother who got 5 children already, where limited space is already. I say, man, I couldn't react emotionally because I understand the whole purpose is to get the man out the way and eventually get the woman out the way and get to the children. They know we're the protector. When these babies come out the woman's stomach, who you think talking about? No, we're not getting them shots. Or no, what y'all doing? Y'all doing too much in there. It's the man. That's why they always go to the woman. Is everything okay? I'll be standing right there. And that's why I say, no, we're not having no more children in these hospitals because, my wife, she's not as aggressive like me. She's not bold as me. So I'm going to look you in your eye and say, no. Oh, but you know that? No, because I'm the protector of this household. And guess what? We're married too. So y'all give us our baby. We're going to be up out of here. So, yeah, man, y'all brothers, man, y'all got to get an alignment with the women. When a man and a woman came together in our culture, there were two families integrating themselves together. It was bigger than just me and you, it was our families. So we had the village. Now, where's the village? My children don't even know the family because it's messed up, man. We've been messed up. We've been chasing the bag. We've been chasing celebrities. We've been chasing this delusion of success that we've put family on the back burner. Now look at what we have now. We've been deceived. We've been deceived.
Baby, I want to get into it. Okay, this right here, this move right here, Taraji. Baby, she had me in tears. Sis had me in tears. And that ending, baby, that ending threw me for a whole loop. Okay, Tyler Perry, you did your thing with this one, but we have to get into it. It just goes to show you that black women can be so used to running and doing it all on their own, okay? That our minds can send us into overload, okay? The mind is a scary place. Sis did not even know that she was going through a whole psychosis, okay? Her daughter, spoiler alert, her daughter was already gone, okay? But sis did not even know it because her mind, you know what I'm saying? It just shows you how we have to prioritize and take care of ourselves because you know what? The world is not going to do it for us, okay? It will be until it's time for her to crash out, okay? Crash out and we lose it all, lose everything, and lose our whole mind, not even knowing that we are going through it. That's why it is so important that you have to check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends. Check on people, even though they might say, I got it, or I can do it, or I don't need it. No, sometimes you just have to be the bigger person, because when a person is so used to doing things on their own, they don't want help, they don't need the help. You have to actually check on them, because they are so used to being the I got it, or I got this and I got that. And in reality, sis, she didn't even have her daughter with her. That's the thing, because you know what, she has already checked out. Sometimes we can be going through so much trying to do it on our own, being in survival mode, that we've already checked out. That's why it's so important to get the help that you need. If it's there, use the help, okay? And you know, and take it for myself, I'm so used to be like, oh, I can do this and do that, until it's too late. You have to let people help you. Let people help you. Check on your strong friends. And if you need the help, seek the help. Okay? Don't be too prideful. Don't let your ego get in the way.
Yeah,
Sometimes
sorry about that, but excuse me, y'all. If you pay attention to these Tyler Perry movies, it's the same storyline every single time. It targets the black women, man. It targets y'all emotions. It targets y'all emotions. What was the woman's curse that would be placed on her in the garden? Which I don't want to get too deep. It was her emotions, man. The Most High made her for the man. She will be bound to her husband. So if she don't have her husband, by default, she have to cleave to something. Satan understands us very well. The system does too. Because guess who the system is controlled by? Satan. Man, we got to do better. Turn off your TV. Sisters, fellas, turn off your TV sometimes. If you don't have a foundation of understanding of who you are, as a woman, as a man, as a husband, as a wife, man, we don't even need to be having children, because all we doing is bringing these children into unfortunate situations. And fellas, man, get out of America, man. If you got a family, get up out of there, man. Because, hey, he's lurking. He's lurking to come destroy. The system is lurking. Your own family will destroy your family. When a woman is going through some emotional distress with her husband, when she go to somebody and she needs some type of wisdom or good advice, what do these older women tell these young women? They're telling them to break up their family. They're telling them to break up their family. Do you know how many of my wife's family that don't that kind of deserted her because she chose to be with her child's father and get married and do it the right way? My wife ain't never had to go back to her parents' crib. She left her parents' crib to come live with me. You would think you would get the support. Marriage is not honorable anymore. Our culture will celebrate divorce before it celebrate marriage. Because I told you we like drama demons. We got to get the tea. In fact, if I said me and my wife, if my wife went back to her mom's crib and said, "Hey, me and him broke up. I can't do it no more," they will celebrate. A lot of people will celebrate. It's unfortunate, man. Friends would celebrate. A lot of people don't. Everybody don't want to see y'all win. If you a husband and a wife and you got children, you need to get out the way. They don't want to see y'all together. You have single, bitter people. Not only just women, it's men too. Fellas, men looking at your situation, seeing how great your wife is, or why he don't deserve that, why I ain't got that. Let me see if I can, you know, cause a diversion in that. People that's all these people that's on your social medias, they just waiting in the cut for you to mess up or a crack in a wall so they can slither their way in there. Telling you, man. And all these men, and I hate that I've done this in the past, of dealing with a man's ex or a man's baby mama. I would never again. Stop dealing with another man's woman, man. Stop dealing with another man's woman. Number one. Number two, a lot of y'all will go and try to create a family with another man's family. The rabbit hole gets more dysfunctional. So yeah, man, I just wanted to drop this. I didn't mean to be so long winded. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Pilgrims in the Earth. We out.